Alright, so this is a leg of lamb. This is probably the most difficult thing to prep and skewer. So the first thing I'm going to do here, some of them have this hip bone, some of them don't have the hip bone, or the chump as it's called. So you want to take this piece off here. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and get as close as I can around this bone here. Alright, so I'll start here, do what I can, cut into that. Alright, that's about as far as it's going to go. I'll flip over to the other side, and then I'll start from this side. Again, try to stay as close to the bone as you can. All right, so basically I'm going to start here. I'm cutting very close to the bone, and I'm going to try to join the side that I started cutting from and this side here. All right, so once I've done that, I'm going to kind of flip it over, and I'm going to try my best to separate the leg from the hip bone again. All right, so I'll get to about there. The next thing I'm going to do is here is the ball of the femur or the leg bone, so I'm just going to try to separate that from the kind of cap that it sits in. Alright, so now that we took that off, this is where the lamb sirloin, the lamb picanha comes from. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start from the top, stay as close again as you can to the bone, and I'm just going to cut the piece off. Alright, you can clean it up a little bit, but this is the lamb sirloin, the lamb picanha, so we'll skewer that later. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. Alright, now this side here, you're going to feel around. Now, depending on whether it's the right leg or the left leg, it's going to be a little bit different spot, but you'll kind of feel kind of a soft dent in there. So what you're going to do, make a small cut, you look inside, and you'll see that there's a gland in there. Now you want to take that gland out, so again, I'll use the little knife, kind of cut around, do what you can to get that little gland out. Alright, so look at the fat, it's going to change the taste of the lamb if you leave it in there. Alright, so get that out if you can. Alright, now you have it ready to go. Now we're going to skewer it. So what you want to do is take this side of the skewer, the one with the divot in it, and you're going to line it up with the bone, okay? Now, all you're going to do is just stick it straight through, but there's a few different ways that you can skewer it, a few wrong ways, so I'm going to show you that now. All right, so again, get the bone on this indent of the skewer, and you're just going to be able to stick it right through, okay? Now, secure through the hole, and you're just going to stick it straight through. You have to guide it slightly, but basically you're just going to guide it straight through, okay? Now this is where you want the skewer to come out from, because it's going to, when the skewer is spinning on the grill, it's going to stay balanced. So that's where you want it. That's where you want it, right there. All right, right here. Now, there's a couple different ways that I see people do it, is they'll skewer it off to the other side. Now, this is secure, okay? But you really want it right here. You don't want it right here because when it's spinning on the grill, the weight balance is going to be off. There's too much weight over here. There's not enough weight over here. When it's spinning, it's going to screw up the grill. You're going to see it flopping around. So it's going to spin and then it's going to flop around. It's not going to cook right. All right. So that's why you want it over here, not over here. All right. Another thing that I'll see people do is they'll skewer too deep into it. So it'll be on the right side where you want it to be, but it'll be too deep. Now again, this looks like it's right, but it's not right. Okay. It's too far to the bottom. The same thing's going to happen when you're flipping. It's going to flip. The weight's not balanced. All right. So as it's spinning on the grill, the weight's going to turn it, and it's going to screw up the other meats, and this is not going to cook right, okay? So again, take it out slowly. Don't take it all the way out, because if you take it all the way out, it's going to be very hard to skewer again. All right? Guide it through, straight along the bone, and you can use this piece here to secure it, just to make sure it's extra sturdy. All right? So there it is. It's balanced. When it's spinning on the grill, it's not going to be flopping around. the weight's all balanced.